Yes, thanks and welcome again to this channel. Today we're going to talk about overview of mental health and just an overview. Generally, what is mental health? Yes, let's go to the key components of mental health. Last time, as I introduced what we are doing, we talked about mental health. Generally refers to a person's emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Hmm? It affects how an individual thinks, feels, behaves, handles stress, relates to others, and make choices. You see, mental health is about whatever choice you make, how you decide to act upon issues that are affecting you or people around you or the environment. Mental health is essential at every stage of life, from childhood to adulthood. Every person, a child, a teenager, a grown up, or an aged person can be undergoing issues related to mental health. Now, key components of mental health that we are going to talk about. One is emotional well being, the second is psychological well being, the third is social well being. Now, what do we know about emotional well being as the first key component? Yes, the first key component of mental health, see, this is the ability to manage emotions like happiness, sadness, anger, and fear. Mhm. Very important to manage issues like happiness. How do you manage yourself when you're happy? How do you manage yourself when you're sad and angered? If someone angers you or provokes you, how do you manage it? When you fear, how do you manage your fears? We'll come here and say, we have another thing like resilience. Yes, resilience in coping with life challenges and recovering from setbacks. You see, when people have made it in life, but things go the other side, coping up becomes a very big issue. Some don't go back for recovery. They stay and stay until they are dead. You see, that is not good. Now, the second one, which is psychological well being, this is a component of mental health that, you see, health thought patterns and self perception. Psychologically, how do your thought patterns come? Hmm? How are your self perceptions? The capacity to make the realistic decision and solve problems. How do you solve problems psychologically when you are undergoing something or when you are making up something? Social life well being. This is about relating to others. How do you relate to other people? Maintaining healthy relationship without fighting, without having issues with people around you, both in office, at home, and even at times just randomly outside there when something happens, you meet some people. How do you solve issues when they arise? Effective communication and skills. How do you see, how do you communicate to other people to understand your point so that there are no grievances or some fights that come out from how you relate to other people? Yes, now we have talked about self-awareness, emotional regulation, positive relation, and resilience. That is all accounts to emotional well-being, understanding your emotions and how they affect your actions. You see, someone might tell you something. You get emotional. Do you cry? Do you fight? Do you relate to that person the way that he has talked or she has talked to you? How do you manage your emotions? How do you regulate them? Managing stress, anger, sadness, or anxiety in healthy way. Hmm? You see, when you fight, with some people around you, or there is something that has come out. Maybe whatever you expected is not what you are getting in return. How do you manage it? Hmm? Sometimes everyone has stresses in life. Maybe job losses. Maybe you've started a business, a company. You see, you've invested heavily. It's not going as per how you wanted. How do you manage it? Hmm? How do you say all is well? This is plan B. You see, all this is about emotional regulation. How do you handle positive relationship towards people that are around you? You see, people have families, friends, and everyone. Every having supportive connection and being able to communicate effectively is a very important thing. In life, you'll never always live happily. There are things that will come out and affect your relationship to other people or you yourself outside there, even if it is family or people that you are related to. Who do you hang out with? What comes out from the people that are surrounding you? If something comes out, how do you manage this positively? Hmm? You see, when you manage things aggressively, they affect your emotional regulation. And self-awareness will not be there because now you won't be you. You get it? You won't be whatever you wanted. Hmm? Resilience, bouncing back from difficulty, adapting to change, and learning from experience. Yes, that's why when you go to find a job, with people will ask you, you have an experience for how long? Because experience matters. When you learn experience, you have that tenure of knowing how to adapt and hold on and change to another plan that can make it. You get it? Experience is a very good thing. Hmm? So, resilience is an important thing in mental health. Resilience means bouncing back from difficulties, adapting to change. This is the situation now. What can I do to make life go smoothly? Hmm? You are used to having a, a big car. Now you can't handle it. How do you adapt to change to start handling a small car? I was used to live in a mansion. I can't manage right now because of the change. How can I handle this? Hmm? How can I bounce back to start and live and grow slowly, slowly? Hmm? Now, optimism, maintaining a hopeful outlook, focus on positive aspects of life. You are optimistic as you bounce back. You are optimistic that I will go back to where I was. Even if I want to reach there, I'll be somewhere. You get it? You don't think about what a person thinks about you. You don't think about what will come out of what you are undergoing. You get it? These are issues that all of them are relating to mental health. Now, let's talk about life satisfaction. This is a very important thing in mental health. Now, I usually say there is this person that has struggled in life, has 100 by 100 land with a small house, let's say like 2 bedroom. That was a dream this person had. As his person lives in that house, his dream has been fulfilled. And there is this person who always dreamed to live in a 6 bedroom house with a good car, but lives in a 2 bedroom house with a car. I won't say which type of car, but with a car. But this person does not have that satisfaction. This person is not yet there. He still wants to work hard to go to the dream that she had, like live in a mansion with a good car. But you see, there is someone here who is in a two-bedroom house with a small land, unsatisfied, very happy, he has no stress. Maybe this person was living in the streets. Maybe this person was living with the family in one house that they sleep in the floor. See, wherever this person has that property, he is satisfied. Hmm? But this person who has something more than that is not satisfied. So self satisfaction is very important. You see, feeling contented and fulfilled with your personal life, work, and purpose is very important. What do you do in life as a grown up to maintain your life? Daily to daily jobs. It's very important. Now, this is key elements of emotional well-being. If you've been following well, the key elements of self-emotional well-being, I'll point them out: self-awareness, emotional regulation, positive relationship, resilience, optimism, being optimistic, and life satisfaction. There are six of them. We will once talk about ways to improve emotional well-being. Yes. How do you improve your emotional well-being? It's very hard. This one needs self-acceptance first. At some times, remember, what we are having is just an overview. We have just started with an overview of mental health. Mental health is a very big topic. So this is an overview. As we go out and go to dig deep in, you will find even mental health is affecting people physically, from psychologically to physically. So this is just an overview of mental health. Now, how do you improve yourself emotionally? One, we may say, stay active. Staying active distracts you from what is disturbing you, although it may not fully, but you may at least do something to make. If you don't have work, you could go to for a walk, search something. If you have a garden, do a garden, go and do some chores. Mhm. Work, paint. Some people paint to get out with their stress. Some people do house chores. They clean to stay out with their stress. Some people can sing out. Get it? Some people love dancing to get out with their stress. Mm. Some people do drink, but that is not a positive way of doing. It depends with what you are drinking. Is it alcohol? But you see, alcohol excessive is not a good thing. So when you drink, drink responsibly. Talk about your feelings. Don't hide them inside. This kills you slowly by slowly. Don't bottle up things. Don't pile things and keep them in you. Talk to someone who you think can help and share with you something. You get it? Eat and sleep well. Physical health supports emotional well-being. Some people, when they are stressed up, they don't eat. They'll make noise, scream, cry, and uh, lock themselves in a room. That is very dangerous because whatever you do impulsively cannot help you. Now, let's talk about practice mindful meditation. Mindfulness, mindfulness or meditation. Yes, meditation. I had a friend who is a Rastaman. Remember, this guy had stress. Usually put some reggae music and stay very quiet, meditating. If you ask this person, what are you doing? This person will tell you, I'm meditating, man, don't disturb me. You've seen about yoga. Yoga helps in meditation. It helps to think deep, to know how to handle issues. But even if you're meditating, never stop to talk things out. And other things are set realistic goals. Very important. How to set goals. You know very well life goes step by step. If you want to reach somewhere, don't say this. I want to buy an AMG. And you know very well, whatever you are having, I'm saying an AMG Mercedes Benz, and wherever you are having is not even worthy to buy a bicycle. You get it? It is very important to set goals that are realistic. Like, today I have this, let me work how to reach the next step. Maybe walk to work, then buy a bicycle to work. Then after buying a bicycle to work, you can buy a small car to work. Those are realistic goals. There's some people who always think big and they know to reach there it's not possible. This setting realistic goals makes you be how can I say it? It makes you be satisfied with what you are receiving and what you can output. You get it? And it won't make you be stressed a lot. We all have differences in output financially, everything. We don't live in the same standards. But as you set realistic goals, you climb the ladder step by step, you'll go where you are. Yes. And then there is seeking help where needed. We have different IQs and capacity of managing issues. No one is 100%. The only thing that we have is someone may be better than you in some other places. You should not stop asking for help from a person because maybe you think you are better than that person. I work in a medical facility. I work with nurses and other people around me. I will not overrule the word of a nurse or a question thinking that I'm the best. An experienced nurse in a ward may know more than a doctor who has just started working. Yes, you may have a higher cadre than this person, but experience makes this person better in advice on how to manage some issues. Let me say a doctor has come from the US working to Kenya, Africa, or a person has gone to the US to work there. Here in Africa, we have tropical diseases. This doctor will meet a nurse who knows better in tropical diseases. When we talk about tropical diseases, we are talking about diseases that are happening here in Africa, like malaria. You understand them? Those are diseases that these nurses have managed with doctors and they know. So this doctor who has come from away will not overrule a word from this nurse. This doctor should have a hearing ear so that he can do his work well. And you see, they are not in the same kind. Yes, this was a key element. We have gone through this key element in mental health, which is emotional well-being. And we have said emotional well-being has also its own elements or points like self-awareness, emotional regulation, positive relationship, resilience. Resilience is bouncing back and going back to work harder to get where you want. And then optimism, being hopeful. And the sixth one is life satisfaction. Feeling contented and fulfillment with your personal work and purpose. And then we've talked about ways to improve emotional well-being. You see? We have talked about eat and sleep well, practice mindful or meditation, set realistic goals, seek help and when needed. Talk about your feelings. Not bad to talk about what you are feeling and what you think. Yes. The second one is psychological well-being, Okay, psychological well-being. This is another key thing in mental health. Refer to a person emotionally and mental health, including how it refers to a personal, emotional, and mental health, including how they feel about themselves, their ability to manage emotions, cope with stress, maintaining relationship, and live purposeful life. It goes beyond absence of mental illness. It's about thriving, not just surviving. Yes, psychological well-being is about thriving, not just surviving. In psychological well-being, we still have the key component of psychological well-being. Here we may find self-acceptance, autonomy, environmental mystery, positive relationship, personal growth, personal purpose in life. Hmm? Personal growth and purpose in life. Now we start with autonomy. Autonomy means being independent and self-determined. You are independent and determined to do something, to come out of something. Yes, to adhere to some rules. Hmm? You are determined. You get it? Making decisions based on personal values and beliefs. In the world, we have different challenges when it comes to communities, social lives. In Africa, here we have communities that believe in their own beliefs, cultural beliefs, I mean, and they make their decisions according to their beliefs. Some people from Northern Africa cannot cope to another community because of what they believe. But when you go there, how do you cope to those things? Autonomy, self-acceptance, having a positive attitude towards oneself, and recognizing and accepting personal strengths and weaknesses. And every person has his personal strengths and weaknesses. There are some people who have strength in solving issues. There are some people who have strength in office work, and some people who have strength in manual work. That's why we have division of labor in companies. You will not just hire people according because their papers are saying he qualified. Interviews are a purpose of recognizing the strength and weaknesses of a person. So self-acceptance, what can you do? You accept yourself. This is my strength, and let me bank on it. Whatever, wherever that you don't have that strength, you don't go so deep. Assistance, seek for assistance. We have environmental mastery. Yes, effective managing lives and surrounding. When you are at a place, how do you manage environmental life? You've come from Africa, you've gone to USA or the polar areas like Greece, and the environment is so hard because it's so cold. How do you manage? Don't be psychological distracted. Talk to the people around, start mastering their life, cope up, adapt well to the changes and challenges of life, and move on with strength. You do whatever you need to do because now that is the life that you are in. You cannot move there. Adapt, live with the people as their beliefs and their culture runs, as long as they are positively related to life. Yes, having positive relationships. Positive relationship is very important because if you live with people around and you are always uh, not smiling, moody, you don't interact with them well, how will you know how to interact with them? Always be a social person. You have meaningful connection to others, meaningful connection to others that do positive things towards the environment and the society. Hmm? Some negative things in some societies are some positive things in some societies. We're going to talk about them. So when you go there and you know this is a negative thing I'm not supposed to do, know how to avoid it. according to that society. Show empathy, trust, and affection to people that are around you. Mm? Don't be just you are the Mr. Big. You cannot relate to others. No, that is not good. Personal growth. No, seek personal growth and grow slowly by slowly to the environment that you are in. Being open to new experiences. I've told you when you move around the world, you meet new people and experience. Be big. Know how to survive in every area and aspect of culture. Purpose in life. Having a goal in life is very important. We don't just live in life. Have that goal in life and bank on it. Feeling that life has meaning and value. Life has meaning and value. No one is just in this world because he was here. Be a person with a purpose. At least give your life purpose in life. Give your life something. You get it. Now we've talked about 6 ways to that is psychological well-being. The components we have talked about are self-acceptance, autonomy, environmental misery, positive relationships, and personal growth. But remember the last one, which is the sixth one, purpose in life. Have a purpose in life. Everyone has a purpose in life. We still have to know ways to improve psychological well-being. You see, one, you have to set realistic goals in life so that give sense in accomplishing and purpose of what you are doing. Seek help when needed. Very important. Don't think you are everything. When you feel there is somewhere you are not doing good, therapy and counseling can be beneficial. Mm? Being helped by some decision making and thinking and seeking advices is very important. You engage in activities you enjoy. If you like singing, go swim. If you like singing, sing. If you like dancing, dance. You get enough sleep. Very important. Don't be stressed out by this. Foster strong social connection. Supportive relationships are very key. When you are around your friends, hmm, are they your supportive pillars? There are some friends that are not supportive pillars. No pillars. Please, when you get to this situation and you notice one of your friends is not your supportive pillar, just sway away very slowly. Get people that you know they are positive and can help you in life. Because when you are around people that say they are your friends and they are not, you emotionally will be destroyed so much when you have a very important issue to be helped and these people are not around you. Very important. Don't chase them away, just be around them, know how to handle them, but always have the supportive pillars that are your friends or family. Practice mindful meditation like yoga. Listening to some good music is also a meditation. Yes, good, very good. We are moving on very good. Today is an overview of mental health. I've said we started with emotional well-being. Second one, we have gone to psychological well-being. Now we have social well-being. The third one is a very important thing that we are talking about social well-being. Now this talks about environment as a whole. You remember, one is emotional well-being. You. Two is psychological well-being. Three is social well-being, the environment. This refers to the quality of a person, relationship, and interaction with others in the community, workplace, school, and social circles. It emphasizes sorry, it emphasizes on important, supportive, meaningful, and connection and sense of belonging. Social, we are all socially belonged. We live in an environment of having some people around you. You get it? Meaningfully. Eh? When we talk about meaningful connection and sense of belonging, you see, now it also has its key components. Key elements of social well-being. One is health relationship, having supportive and trustful friends and family. Remember, we talked about it where in psychological well-being. When we talked about engage realistic goals, we talked about engaging in activities you enjoy, get enough sleep, seek help when needed, which was the last one. Hmm? You seek work when needed, and where that's where we came and talk about healthy relationship, having supportive and trustful friends and family, being able to form and maintaining positive connection. Positive. Get people that are positive according to what you want. Don't get people that are will ruin your visions. I usually tell people if you have a goal and along the way people come that they're giving you things that are not directed to your goal. These things are called illusions. These solutions you should avoid them. What are illusions? A student who is in a university studying as a bachelor student in business maybe wants to be a CEO one day in a company, but in the university he gets uh, people that like partying as the friends, girlfriends that are toxic. These are now called, those are illusions. If this person banks to partying, these girlfriend things, and drugs, let me say, those are illusions, and divert the way to those things, to the illusions, this person will not make the goal, which is one, to graduate, two, to start that company. It will take him so long to graduate. By the time he's in some years, he doesn't have the strength to do whatever he had. His or her friends have gone long way then, and that's where depression starts. Sense of belonging, social well-being. Number two, sense of belonging. How do you belong? Feeling accepted to your community group and workplace. Hmm? These things, at times it hurts so many people. Why? Because you you're trying to work hard to prove you can, but you feel that you don't belong to this community. You don't belong to this social circle. You don't belong to this company. As much as what you're doing is not, you get it. How do you work on it? We will see. We will see how you try and work on it. Being part of social or cultural networks, very important. We have seen every community has a culture. How do you get into that culture? How are you getting to it and being assimilated to it? How do you live with those people? Number three, effective communication. Hey, communication is very important when it comes to social relationship because the way you pass your information, the ability to express yourself clearly and listen to others is very important. You may say a very strong point, but it's being dismissed in a way that you're bringing it out. How do you resolve conflict respectfully and constructively? You get it? How? How do you come out and resolve a conflict? Remember, conflict is not between other people. You yourself can be in a conflict to others. You yourself can be a conflict to the environment without knowing. We will see how to resolve this conflict. Mutual respect and empathy. Respect is very important. Respecting and understanding differences. You've gone to a community, you've started living there, or you are living in a family or a community, but you don't respect the rules and regulation of that community. Very sad. How do you give respect and empathy? Hmm? Some people don't know. You've gone to a community, you say, in our place we don't do this. We always do this. You know, you should be assimilated to a community so that you live better. People don't, you are living in a community that people don't like smoking, and you are always smoking openly towards other people. That's not good. If you go to a community that people smoke openly and you live with them, there are some people in communities that if a woman smokes, that is a very bad thing. But in other communities, if a woman smokes, it's normal. So how do you get into those community? Social support, access to emotional information, practical help to others. That is social support. You access emotional, informational, or practical help. Get information, get practical help from others. Giving and receiving support in times of need. Yes, you give and receive. It reminds me of it reminds me of someone called Lucky Dube, who sang, Blessed are the hands that give it, than the ones that take it. Blessed it. You see, as you give support, you receive support in turn. That is very important. Get support in your area of weaknesses. Give support in your strong areas to others. You get? That is what we talk about. Hmm? Now, we've talked about social well-being. Social well-being has elements like health relationship, sense of belonging, effective communication, mutual respect and empathy, social support, and community engagement. Now, when you go back and we see there is somewhere we can uh, we can help. mm, This is where we talk about benefits of social well-being. It reduces stress and feeling of loneliness because now that you are assimilated to the community, the stress that you are having will be reduced. You don't have so many issues that are going on around you and other people because you are not being assimilated to the community. You know very well that your family, people don't smoke alcohol, you don't smoke cigarettes, but you are so fast in smoking in public. In your community, alcohol is forbidden. If you need alcohol and in your community it's forbidden, just go away, drink away from your community, come back when you are good, and you will be okay. Improve your mental. It improves your mental and emotional health. Yes, your mental and emotional health will be improved. Strengthen coping skills during tough times, my friend. After COVID, everything was tough, very tough. How did the people cope with the aftermath of COVID? Some businesses closed, some people lost their family members. You see, this came out to be a very open thing and tough thing to people. Mm? There was a time in Kenya we had Kenya is in Africa. I am in Africa because I have a very large uh, view. Kenya is in Africa. There was post-election violence in 2007. Mental health was critical. People lost their property, people lost their relatives, and we had to come in, walk around, talk to people, take people to hospital, help. Mm. So this is a benefit of strengthening coping skills during tough times, enhancing personal growth and happiness. We want to live by growing, not stagnating where you are, and also have happiness as you live. Now, this is just an overview of mental health. And my advice, if you have a question, just put it down. We will talk it to our next video as we go on. Today we have talked about, um, I'll go back, I'll go back to uh, mental health at an overview. I'll repeat, refer to a personal, emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Very correct. We have talked about the key components: emotional well-being, psychological well-being, social well-being. Hmm? And you see, we, under all this we have talked, we have disorders, common disorders, depression, anxiety disorders, bipolar disorders, schizophrenia. We have always had people saying, I have PTSD, post traumatic stress disorders. We talk about them as we go on. We obsessive compulsive disorder. You see, let's know what this, let's get to an overview of these common problems. The first one being depression. What is depression? It is persistent sadness, loss of interest in activity, and low energy. Hmm? Persistent sadness. You are always sad. You don't have interest in anything, and you don't even have energy. We have anxiety disorders, excessive worry or fear that interferes with daily life. Well, you are always worrying, hmm? And fear something might happen. You get it? That is the second one. We have bipolar disorders, alternating period of extreme mood highs, hey, and lows. Right now you are very happy. After 2, 3 seconds, you are down, depressed. We will talk about bipolar disorders. That time is coming. Schizophrenia, a severe disorder involving distorted thinking, hallucinations, and delusion. Listen to that. A severe disorder involving distorted thinking. You are always hallucinating and you are delusional. We will come to it. These are common mental health disorders. PTSD, post traumatic stress disorders, ongoing emotional distress and experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event. You just undergone something, let me say an accident or lost someone, and you are under stress thinking about what happened. Obsessive compulsive disorder, recurrent unwanted thoughts and repetitive behavior. Now, now we have talked about common health problems. We will see them in detail. Time is coming when we will go down on them and dig to them so hard. And we will have to help these people that are undergoing these issues. You know, mental health is a diverse thing. I will be taking us through, but it will be a discussion. If you have the problem, you tell us how you manage it, how you go about it, and everything will be okay. Now we go to we will remember we are on an overview. I've said an overview. We go to factors that are affecting mental health. We have very many factors that are affecting mental health. We have genetics, brain chemistry and structure, hormonal imbalances, psychological factor, trauma or abuse, poor coping skills, negative thinking patterns, social and environmental factors, poverty and unemployment. Poverty, Africa, that is a very a big thing in Africa. Social isolation or lack of support, very true. If you are not having a supportive structure, you will not make it. Substance abuse. Yes, you've seen it in every country. Some people lose it when it comes to alcohol, drugs. You get it, and that's why in our airports there is very strict rules when it comes to importation of drugs. Discrimination and stigma. That one we will talk about it when we come to discrimination and stigma. Very important topic, very big topic when it comes to people of interest that have special conditions. Discrimination, very important. Stigma, how do you handle it? Now, here, let's go faster on an overview of these issues. We have biological issues, we have psychological factors, and social and environmental factors. In biological factors, you may get genetics, family illness, and developing diseases, conditions that are genetically modified. They are making these people being to have mental issues. Brain chemistry and structure, we will see them. That way we'll talk to it, to my learned friends, they will interact and know. Hormonal imbalance. We have seen some people when they are having hormonal imbalance like thyroid and adrenal issues, they undergo some issues, and we will talk about them in details, and everything will be okay. Now we have some issues that we may go around and talk about them in some details as we go on, like discrimination and stigma. That one is a topic on its own. Right now, we are just going through an overview. Now, we have psychological factors, trauma and abuse. You've seen rape cases, how they traumatize people. How do you cope with them? We are here to help. So the interaction will be about helping and knowing how to cope, understand the problem and cope with it and come out of it. Yes, poor coping skills. This is under psychological issues, and you have negative thinking patterns. There's some people who really think negatively. They really don't think positively. They always think negatively. We will talk about it. We have social and environmental factors. Hey, I've said poverty and unemployment. Very bad. Social isolation or lack of support. We have seen some people are capable of having big dreams, making big things, but lack of support make them be where they are. Substance abuse, very sad. We lose our daughters and brothers through alcohol and drugs. Okay, this is very sad. People that are energetic and can be an input to the society are being lured to drugs and support. We'll see how we can overcome and help. Discrimination or stigma. I'm still going back to it. Discrimination and stigma. Good. Now, those are factors, three categories of factors that affect mental health: biological, psychological, and social factors. Thank you very much coming to this channel again and watching this video. As you may see, I'm a medical practitioner. I work in a medical field. I've just said we start talking about mental health because very many things are happening, and we really need to help even our young tax and everyone, because the world right now is really changing uh, faster, and we see how we can help everyone. Those are the few things I think, an overview on the mental health. Next time we'll start step by step. I'll be issuing some prior to a day of discussion. Everyone will be knowing the topic that we are going to discuss. If you have a question, pin it, even if it is not mental health related, even if it is a medical issue, post. We will go through it as needed. If you have a special request to talk, I'm here. Thank you very much. As I we meet next time on our good start of mental health. That was the beginning of this journey. Thank you very much and welcome.